Earlier today, the Calgary Flames and entire hockey world were saddened to learn of the passing of 3 members of the Southern Alberta Mustangs junior hockey team who were tragically killed in a motor vehicle accident south of Calgary. We now ask you to please rise if you're able. Join us in observing a moment of silence in remembrance of these 3 young men.
A poignant tribute tonight ahead of the Calgary Flames game, honoring 3 Alberta junior hockey players who tragically lost their lives this morning. News of the boys' passing is being felt across the hockey world and beyond in Alberta, BC, and south of the border. We'll have more on this developing and heartbreaking story and on the RCMP investigation. Here's what else is making news tonight. Another attempt to close Calgary's safe consumption site.
And I have not heard any kind of response from government that actually seeks to address the drug use writ large.
But critics call that a mistake. Will Calgary's free fare transit zone downtown be scrapped? Some councillors want to examine whether the policy still makes sense. And a record year.
We're running around like crazy this year, taking care of all these animals.
From owls to salamanders, challenging times for a group that cares for injured wildlife.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Camilla Di Giuseppe.
Good evening. Heartbreak and disbelief has blanketed a southern Alberta community just south of Calgary. 3 young hockey players with roots here, British Columbia, and the U.S. were killed when the vehicle they were traveling in collided with a semi-gravel truck south of the city. Tragically, it happened as the teens were on their way to hockey practice. 17-year-old Caden Fine of Birmingham, Alabama, was in the car on the way to Stavely, Alberta. He played center with the Southern Alberta Mustangs. His father, who is making the heartbreaking flight to Calgary, tells CTV his son was here to pursue his dream. Also in that vehicle with Caden was Mustangs left winger JJ Wright from Kamloops, BC, and Cameron Casoro, originally from Calgary, then Kamloops. Both were 18 years old. Inside the Stavely Agricultural Society, where the team played, a memorial with the 3 players' jerseys and sticks. More hockey sticks tied with a ribbon adorned the outside of the arena as well. The Mustangs described how devastated they are in an online post, that their hockey family is hurting, and so too everyone who knew and loved these boys. The Kamloops Minor Hockey Association echoing the same sentiment, saying these 3 young men were teammates and friends to many. We are grieving together as one hockey family. Now, this is the site of the crash, which happened at 11 this morning on Highway 2 and 55th Avenue in Stavely, about an hour south of Calgary. Stop signs are visible on 55th Avenue. Calgary EMS say it was an ambulance crew transferring a patient unrelated to the tragic incident that came across the crash and then called for help. The investigation is ongoing, and we can tell you the driver of the gravel truck, a 40-year-old man from Stavely, near Stavely, was treated for minor injuries on scene. The outpouring of condolences for the players and the team include the Premier, who posted in part, "My deepest condolences are with their families, teammates, coaches, billet families, and the entire community of Stavely and surrounding areas as they grieve this unimaginable loss. The whole Alberta hockey family is standing with you in sorrow and in prayer." And Prime Minister Mark Carney on X wrote, "Canadians are keeping the entire Southern Alberta Mustangs community in our thoughts as they face this unimaginable grief." Now, this news of the fatal crash is hitting very close to home with Canadians and the hockey community, but perhaps no more than the Humboldt Broncos out of Saskatchewan. That team, which lost 16 of its players in a highway crash in 2018, shared their condolences online. They say, in part, there are no words, only heavy hearts, adding, "We stand with you, we mourn with you, we are with you."
This is CTV News Calgary.
Opioid deaths are finally starting to fall across the country. Here in Alberta, over the past 2 years, deaths have declined dramatically. But as Kevin Green reports, the province is continuing its move to overhaul addiction treatment and close safe consumption sites.
Outside the SafeWorks consumption site on 13th Avenue Southwest, 31-year-old Rebecca is waiting for the doors to open. She and her husband, Jay, are both users. They've been homeless for 6 months. She says SafeWorks is their lifeline.
So you think SafeWorks and places like it save lives?
Absolutely. 100%. No doubt about it.
Have they saved your life?
Yes.
Opioid deaths hit a peak in 2023 when in the first 6 months of the year, 952 people died in the province. Last year in that same period, it fell to 602, a drop of 37%. In a statement to CTV, the province's Minister of Mental Health and Addictions says, "It is good to see opioid-related death numbers decline. However, we know these numbers fluctuate from month to month." But went on to say consumption sites must close, stating drug consumption sites were designed as short-term measures. They were not meant to be permanent. The government plans to move to a new method of treatment, including a virtual opioid dependency program. The NDP addictions critic says closing the SafeWorks site will not promote better outcomes for addictions or solve social disorder.
When folks are able to access the supervised consumption site, it means that they're not using at the public library, they're not using in the city at City Hall, they're not using in stairwells and doorways of businesses.
The province has been talking about closing SafeWorks since 2021, but wanted city buy-in. Tuesday, Councillor Landon Johnston will present a notice of motion asking his fellow councillors to do just that.
The whole premise of it is to ensure that the city of Calgary is on the same page with the province of Alberta, right? We had an experiment with the Sheldon Schumer Centre and it clearly didn't work.
Back at SafeWorks, Rebecca says she's already seen the results of government cuts and says it isn't pretty.
I've already noticed an impact on the community due to a cutback on funding. People are sharing equipment, becoming more violent when equipment isn't available.
This will be the second time Johnson has drafted a notice of motion about the closure of SafeWorks, the first time he withdrew it before councillors could take it to a vote. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Police from the Tsuut'ina Nation and Calgary, along with search and rescue crews, conducted several searches this weekend as part of an ongoing homicide investigation. It's a connection to the death of Faisal Osman Abdulaziz in Calgary's Ogden neighborhood on December 10th. Police believe the 32-year-old was targeted and the shooting is connected to organized crime. 3 or 4 suspects were taken into custody near the Tsuut'ina First Nation at the time, but no charges have been laid. CPS says Saturday's search of roadsides and green spaces on the nation recovered several items of interest. Investigators are now working to determine if they're connected with the case. The future of Calgary's fare-free transit zone in the downtown will be subject to debate again from City Council. The free fare zone has been around since the late 1970s along 7th Avenue downtown. The notice of motion is being spearheaded by 2 city councillors, and they're hoping to either modify it or completely scrap it. Here's Tyson Fedor.
The City of Calgary has offered transit riders free service through a 2.5-kilometer stretch in downtown for decades.
The free fare zone kind of started as a pilot project in 1979 when there was no LRT at the time. It was 15-cent fare and the bus only ran from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And so it's kind of a legacy that's stuck around over the years.
But now Ward 3 Councillor Andrew Ewell and Ward 6's John Pantazopoulos want to find ways to enhance transit, and that could mean removing the free fare.
All options are on the table with this notice of motion, and I think the place that I would like to focus our subsidies would be our low-income transit passes. That's where the most vulnerable need a subsidized transit system.
The motion to be presented Tuesday calls on the city to undertake a comprehensive review of the downtown Calgary transit free fare zone. It points to looking into the financial implications of establishing downtown as a fare paid zone by studying any projected changes in fare revenue, the cost of increased enforcement, and the feasibility of a tiered fare structure. Some students say the free fare is vital for their commutes.
It's a big help for us, like me as a student. So yeah, I think we should keep it.
I can't live without transit, and I can't imagine how difficult it's going to be for people that have to renew their tickets every 60 minutes, which I think is kind of insane. And then also the upping of prices. with the tickets. I think that's ridiculous.
The motion includes consultation with the Calgary Downtown Business Association, Tourism Calgary, the Chamber of Commerce, and post-secondary students. But some Calgarians would support changes to the system.
I mean, some minimal charges. Yeah, it will be good for government also. Because free, it's all of loss, right? No benefit.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
Danielle is in with our first look at the weather. A 10 out of 10 kind of day today. But what is better than a perfect 10, let's say?
Let's say 17 out of 10.
You mean temperature-wise?
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, we are headed into potentially record-breaking territory here. Now, tomorrow will be similar to today. A little cooler in the morning. Today we had about 6 degrees went off to work and school. Tomorrow, 0 went off to work and school, getting up to a high of 9. It's Wednesday and Thursday that it's going to feel like the middle of spring. I'll show you that coming up.
All right, Danielle, thank you so much. Visitors to Calgary are basking in the unseasonably warm temperatures blanketing the city.
It's like winter, but it's not winter because it's basically summer with a cool breeze.
That's a pretty good description of our weather today from a youngster visiting from Toronto, where it's much colder at the moment. The mild February conditions made for a great day to head out for a walk or jog, while others didn't seem to mind a little melting ice and laced up for a skate on one of the city's outdoor rinks. Well, thefts from construction sites are on the rise. We'll show you what's being targeted and why it's adding to the costs and delays in home building.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Calgary police are sounding the alarm on thieves targeting new build construction sites. One home builder says it has become normalized with all sorts of housing material being taken. And as Tyler Barrow explains, it's homeowners paying the price.
Building almost 600 single and multi-family units, Trico Homes notices trends in the industry. One it's seeing a lot of lately is theft.
If I sent a note out today and asked and said, what was the most recent theft that we see? I'm pretty confident that we'd find out there was theft over the weekend.
The Trico Homes president says it has almost become accepted within the industry. Copper wire is commonly targeted by thieves, but it is not limited to that, as lumber along with household appliances and other materials are also being taken. Construction site thefts have been on the rise in the city. In 2020, there was just over 260, 308 in 2024, and over 370 in 2025.
It is something that we're seeing that's trending, and it's fairly significant, obviously, to the home builders as well as to our community.
And a significant impact to the homeowner's wallet. Thefts could drive up the price of a home anywhere from 3 to 7%.
A set of appliances, you're looking at almost $10,000 that are disappearing that you have to recover the costs on. You look at the wire, like housing material is not that cheap.
It can also delay their move-in day. To help prevent and track the problem, the company has put Apple Air tags in its material. Construction sites are also taking extra measures to protect against theft, driving up their costs.
They're adding fences, they're adding lighting, they're adding cameras, maybe in some cases security patrols. And so they're spending money to try and save lost money from thefts.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
Trico Home CEO says there are so many thefts, some builders don't even bother reporting it. However, police are asking all builders to come forward when thefts take place to help prevent it. A worker was killed and another injured at an oil sands site near Fort McMurray late last week. It happened at the Christina Lake North site. Occupational Health and Safety says the workers were struck by a pipe that rolled off a truck they were unloading. Cenovus Energy says the workers were employed by a third-party contractor. This is the second workplace death in the oil sands this year. Last month, a worker died while operating a piece of machinery that sank into a muskeg at Suncor's Fort Hill site. After years of a hybrid model, thousands of Alberta government employees returned to work in the office full-time this morning. The province has mandated all of its employees must now work completely in person, and it's already proving to be a jarring switch for many. Tim Brooke explains.
It's back to the office for about 12,000 Government of Alberta employees, and most aren't happy.
I took a look at some other positions that the government of Alberta had open to see if there was anything that was fully remote.
The province has ended its hybrid work option, which means a return to in-office lunches, water cooler talk, and long commutes.
So it's about 6.5 hours a week that I'm losing having to come back to the office 2 days a week. So it is a big change for me.
The Alberta Union of Provincial Employees says the large majority of its 9,000 members aren't pleased. It speculates ending remote work is to boost local economies, which the government rejects.
We've yet to hear or be provided with any fact-based rationale as to why this decision was made. And so members feel like, trust is being eroded.
The province tells us the decision was made independently by the Public Service Commission as part of its responsibility to manage the public service and ensure operational excellence. It says the hybrid work model introduced during COVID was always intended as a temporary measure.
The government did this without really consulting workers. They did it because other people were doing it. I just don't think that's a very good way to run a big organization.
Ending remote work follows a new study that ranks Calgary dead last among major Canadian cities for workplace flexibility. It says almost 88% of jobs require full-time in-person presence, despite more than 60% of Canadians wanting a hybrid option.
If you want to attract talent, you have to offer flexible jobs. That attracts younger people, and I think older people, more senior people, are not that flexible anymore.
But in Alberta, the province has made up its mind, and the union has filed a policy grievance. Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
A second recall petition for a UCP MLA has failed. The person behind the campaign to recall Angela Pitt says he's giving up on the campaign after collecting 2,200 names. The petition needed 15,000 signatures by the end of Tuesday to go ahead. Derek Keenan says despite the result, the petition brought attention to local concerns in the Airdrie East riding. 26 petitions were launched last year against members of the legislature. All right, Danielle's up next with her Skywatch forecast, and she mentioned the number 17 for a high. When? She'll let us know. Those details next.
Well, we had a lot of melting out there today because we got up to 10 degrees in the city. Be prepared for lots of melting. All the melting, because we're potentially even going to break records with the warmth that's on the way this week. It will get much warmer than what we even had today. All right, we were warmer than Vancouver and Victoria. They got to 9, double digits in Calgary, and still much colder weather to the east of us. And this is really the pattern that we're going to be in for the rest of this week. In fact, for the next 10 days. So that cold air plummeting into eastern Canada. The jet stream is in the darker green here. This jet stream is going to push all the way up towards the territories. This is a ridge of high pressure that will be building in. So right now we're getting those winds out of the west, Chinook conditions. That's what's warming up the temperatures. But as we go through the next few days, this ridge of high pressure will build in and intensify. So it promotes that sinking air, that stability, so no real systems or moisture on the way for us, which is unfortunate because we do need the moisture. But all this sunshine and this push of air from the south is really going to heat up our temperatures, getting us to the high teens in the coming days. Wednesday and Thursday will be the warmest of this. Radar and satellite, we did have a little bit of moisture push down the mountains, but as soon as it got to the bottom, it just dried up because it's so dry here. All right, when we look at that longer range forecast, 9 degrees for tomorrow as this ridge of high pressure gets itself organized. And then the temperatures build to 17 Wednesday and Thursday, still in the teens Friday and through the weekend. I'm going to show you the 10-day trend here. And as you can see, we will be above the freezing mark for the next 10 days, with the warmest of the days being Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
All right, Danielle, thank you. It was a very busy year for one conservation group in our province, taking in a record number of patients. But can the Alberta Institute for Wildlife Conservation keep up with that type of load? That's next. Balzac Billy says we are in for another 6 weeks of winter. Billy popped out at about 8 in the morning, saw his shadow and gave the thumbs down. But there were mixed reports across the country. Lyreton Willie in Ontario and Fred Lamarmot in Quebec both said spring is on the way. And Nova Scotia's Shubenacadie Sam didn't even bother getting out of bed. Not sure what that means. The Calgary Zoo has officially named 2 orphan grizzly cubs they took in last year from Southern Alberta. Meet Fitz, he's the light-colored cub, and Turner is the darker cub. They were brought to the Wilder Institute after their mother was killed in an encounter with a human near Diamond Valley. They were born only last year, so would have died if left alone in the wild. Fitz is named after Fitzsimmons Creek near Diamond Valley, and his brother is named after Turner Valley. A bit of a surprise, one was originally thought to be female, but an in-depth health check confirmed both cubs are male. The pair will be available for public viewing come spring. There are a handful of wildlife rehabilitation facilities in the province. They treat any animals that's brought to them and nursed back to health. The Alberta Institute for Wildlife Conservation set a new annual record for the number of patients it treated in 2025. 2,103 animals came through its doors needing help. Here's Kevin Fleming.
This great horned owl is being assessed by staff at the Alberta Institute for Wildlife Conservation. They think it may have flown into a few windows and suffered head trauma.
We are being just very cautious. You saw the gloves and the gowns and everything like that. They can be a avian influenza species. So at this time, head trauma and avian influenza look quite similar. So we're just being extra cautious, but we're running a bunch of blood work to just kind of see what's going on.
Cassandra Lacusta says 2025 was a busy year for staff here, treating injured and orphaned wildlife.
We had, I think, the highest number of ducklings we've ever had, and even then we set the record the year prior. So we set the record now 2 years in a row for the highest number of ducklings, which is insane.
Lacusta says staff deal with many of the same species of wildlife repeatedly, like ducklings. But last year they saw more than a dozen mountain cottontails when they'd only treated 10 since the facility opened in 1993.
We have never raised that many mountain cottontails, but we adapted and figured it out. We had to do a lot of research, which took a lot of time off of our staff to make sure that we were treating them all properly and getting them all the right nutrition and everything.
The Institute relies on public donations to operate. More animals annually means higher expenses for medications and food because they all have different needs.
The bigger they are, the more they cost. So things like our bear cubs, for example, can cost $100 a day to feed, between formula, meat, fruit, vegetables, and then staff time as well. The training that goes into making sure people know how to do these things, that also doesn't cost nothing. So it's quite expensive to take care of a lot of these animals.
The Institute is looking at finishing up some outdoor projects in 2026 for some of the larger animals that it will likely see this year. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, near Madden.
And a final note before we go, Calgary Flames dropped 4-2 against the visiting Toronto Maple Leafs at the Dome tonight. Calgary will host their provincial rivals, the Edmonton Oilers, tomorrow night. All right, that's it for us here at CTV News at 11:30. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you soon. Good night.